Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to mydeepguide, and Supernote has been added again. There's a new update in town and a complete game changer. And here is the list of what has been added to the latest update 3.25 on the Nomad and Manta. And it's only two things, but those two things are enormous. We have added support for private cloud and added the server link app, which supports file synchronization, data backup, and cross-device access via WebDAV. What do these two things mean? Well, the first one, the private cloud, that means that you can self-host the entirety of the Supernote Cloud platform. Up until this point, you have had the option to go through external servers, someone else's servers, and your data had to go through either China, European, US, or some other servers. With the private cloud, you can deploy and host your own server for the entirety of the Supernote platform. This is unprecedented, and this is completely unmatched in the whole world of ePaper devices. It's not an enterprise thing like a beta enterprise thing that Remarkable has merely mentioned, and we have yet to even hear or let alone see any of it. No, this is launched, this is live, this is free, and this is available for everyone who has the tech know-how. And for this video, yes, I actually went through the effort, and I do have my own personal headless Linux server here, and I've done the deployment. And yes, there's some fiddling around in here and there, of course, and you need to be tech savvy, you need to know what you're doing in order to actually do this. But you follow the instructions, you install it, you deploy it, you do the regular security things, and yeah, I mean, it just freaking works. I have the HTTP access, I have HTTPS access once you get the security certificates in place, and most importantly, you have the direct IP access as well. Why do I say that the direct IP access is the most important one? Because if you are a big company, your IT department is still not gonna be okay with the data going through tunnels or proxies or anything like that. The safest way is to actually keep it locked down locally. And this actually allows for that. And this is the first time that we have an ePaper device as powerful as Supernote as a platform is, that actually allows this. Because just think about it. If you have a deployment of the Supernote private cloud on your company's server, for example, that is accessible via the IP address and the logging information that your IT has provided to you as an employee. You give them your Supernote device, they read the MAC address and the IP address, they log down the IP address in the router, and they can actually lock out a device completely from any internet access by using a fixed IP and the MAC address of the device, so that this device cannot go online at all, so it cannot send data or receive data to the outside world at all, even if the Wi-Fi is enabled. Yet, you can still have complete functionality of the Supernote Cloud and complete security as well. That is a huge, huge thing. I can't even begin to describe to you the feeling of security and liberation once I've had that, because once you have it set up, it just works. And it works blisteringly fast because it's on your own local server. So if you have a 100 megabit connection, you're gonna get 100 megabit transfers. Or if you have a gigabit network, you're gonna get, well, how fast your server's drives are. And the reliability so far has been absolutely perfect. Yes, there have been a little bit of niggles here and there to kind of work out during the deployment, but nothing really out of the ordinary. I'm not going to go into details of deployment because that's super techy, and anyone who knows and has a tech know-how to actually do these things, they will be able to figure them out, or you can just reach out to me in the comments down below to ask a specific question that you may have, or you're running into a specific thing, and then I will address it in the comments so that other people can also be publicly informed about that. But overall, the support for private cloud, freaking unbelievably cool, because we do not have anything even remotely close to this in the world of the ePaper tablets or wider. And just think about it, in a world where we have like increasing reliability and outreach towards even more data sharing and trading via the so-called AI implementation things. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for proper implementation of technology and LLMs, call them AIs or LLMs, I don't really care, but regulate it first. You gotta regulate that crap, and then you can do stuff. Right now, it's worse than the Wild West, and things that are happening right now with the companies and the data trading, it's worse than Matrix, basically. You're not a battery, you're something far, far more valuable. But anyway, that's a different discussion. Then we have the second one, added the server link app, which is basically, if you had issues with the storage amount that you have for the device, on the device with the 32 gigabytes, or you've had the issues of how Android is implementing and supporting the SD card and there's limitations regarding that, well, now you have the server link app, which allows you to actually have a dedicated folder on your private server, not other cloud, no subscription, no, your private server, that you can, again, if you set it up, you can access it only locally, if those are your security prerogatives, or you can, proxy it via Zero Trust, Cloudflare, tunneling, or something like that, so that you can actually use it when you're on the go as well, online. And it works brilliantly. Editing Voya reminder here for you to go to the Google Forms that you will find in the description of this video down below, where you can cast your vote for what you think is the best ePaper device that has been launched in year 2025. At the end of month December, I will be collecting all the votes, and the winner that you guys voted in will be posted in that video. If you're watching this video from the future and the link doesn't work, that is because of this mysterious concept called time. Thanks for casting your vote and for letting us all know what you guys think. So let's do things one at a time and just show you stuff, because I've showed you some screenshots while I was talking about the awesomeness of the private cloud, but how do you set it up? Well, the proper procedure is, once you have all of your deployment done on a server, on the device side of things, you need to follow a specific order of steps. Step number one is to swipe down and wherever you're linked to, perform the synchronization to the cloud that you are connected to at the moment. Once you're done with that, don't touch any of the data on your device. You're going to keep it all local because you're going to transfer that to your private cloud and make it completely seamless. Step number two is to go to System and then Backup and Restore and perform a backup of your devices just for, clarity's sake and peace of mind's sake. Step three is to go to My Account and log out of your current account. Once you've completed those three steps, then you can go to step 4, which is in security and privacy, you will find the option private cloud. And once you enable it, there you will have the details to enter how to access that private cloud. Now keep in mind that you can use only one private cloud at a time. So you need to make a decision if you're going to go through directly to your IP. Are you going to use HTTP or are you going to use HTTPS? I naturally recommend HTTPS for security reasons if you want to have access and synchronization when you're in the outside world or via internet, which, if you've done things correctly, is reasonably secure, but nothing can compare to a complete lockdown and a direct IP access only. That is totally up to you, but you can't mix and match. What you decide and the details that you add in the private cloud, if you add IP, it's only going to work via IP, it's not going to work outside. So that is a plan that you have to make beforehand. Once you're done with that step and you have your private cloud added, then you go again to My Account, and then you use account credentials that you or your IT specialist has created for you, for your new user, on your private Supernote Cloud. You can use the same credentials and same details if you want with the old Supernote Cloud, but don't confuse the two. They are not linked in any way, shape, or form. Those are two completely different user accounts, and they do not know of each other anything at all, which is the way it's supposed to be because it's a private cloud. And now if you go to your drive, Cloud Drive, it's your private cloud, and here you can turn on autosync if you want, and you can also select the folders that you want to synchronize as normally as you would. It functions exactly the same as it would with your regular thing, except that it's all hosted on your private server securely. So you've deployed the private Supernote Cloud, you've set up your device here, you've enabled the private cloud, you've logged in with your new account to your private cloud, and now because you haven't touched any of the local data on your device, all you need to do is simply swipe down, press synchronize, and now it's going to synchronize with the private cloud, and it goes really, really quickly. And there we go, and we're done. Supernote Link is something a little bit different. You can follow the directions from a very, very short video that they have on the Supernote channel on how to establish the connection with the IP address and the folder and all of that kind of stuff. One important thing to note, once you add the folder location, it should not have a space because the space character is not handled correctly. So either use capital letters for new words in your folder name or use underscore, but do not use space because that will not work correctly at the moment. Once you've set up the link to a folder, then you simply go to this folder and you have access to the folders that are now on my server. And these are actually just directly communicating and connected to the stuff that's on my server. And the beautiful thing about this is that while I'm working directly on my Supernote here, none of this is stored actually on the device. It's all communicating directly to my private server. And furthermore, there's no space limitation, or the space limitation is your server. Talking about space limitations, the private cloud is still limited to the factory type of limit thing. So you will still have storage limitations and stuff like that, because that's simply how the system works. And currently, to my knowledge, there is no way to expand that. The only proper way to kind of expand that is via the web dev or via the Supernote link. So right now, my Supernote is fully functional. I have not traded in any functionalities or made any compromises whatsoever, and I've gained complete and total privacy, complete and total control over all of my data, and I am the one who chooses and completely controls everything, where this data is going to and who it's talking to. I don't know how can you put a price on something like that in today's day and age. Name me one other platform of any type, any computer, anything that you have on tap available with this much functionality that allows you that level of privacy and control. I've been thinking about it. I've been really, really thinking about it. And I'm kind of failing here, so I need your guys' help because I can't think of an example that can compare to something like this. So that is obviously the major addition to the new update and the Supernote platform. But we also have adjustments and optimizations, and let's go quickly through these. Notebooks now support using the stroke eraser and the region eraser to erase the entire stroke when touching the line's interior. Text file saving methods from converting to UTF-8 is no longer doing that. It is actually preserving the original encoding format. If you don't know what this means, that means that you are not nerdy enough. If you know what this means, you're saying, hell yeah, finally. Supports cutting, copying, and pasting text between Supernote and the desktop Supernote partner app. To do this, please enable keyboard sharing and the desktop Supernote partner app. Optimized note saving process during shutdown and restart. Optimized text box feature. Now you can enter text editing mode by long pressing the text box with the pen or tapping the edit button after selecting text with the lasso tool. You can exit text editing mode by using your finger to tap anywhere outside the text box on the screen. You can adjust the size of the text box when inserting editing digests. Added support for more Bluetooth keyboard shortcuts, including undo, bold, italic, align, left, right. Nice. That was quick. All right, cool. That's very, very quick because in the last update review, I mentioned these things. Hey presto, here they are. That's fantastic to see, including increasing, decreasing font size and show font selection menu. Links within notes and between notes remain functional even after the notes and their link targets are moved to a micro SD card or an OTG flash drive. This has been a big one for one user and one viewer, but probably for many more. But this one user is, should be credited for this because I know that he's been very vocal about it, rightly so, that it's bugging him and stuff, but now it actually works. So that's pretty cool. Digest app has been further optimized. When exporting digests from a single note under the sources tab, they are now sorted by page number instead of last edited time. When importing digest through text file, you can now restore the digest data, including the source, category, and author. Nice. Improve the reliability of handwriting keyboard to prevent it from closing accidentally when using certain gestures. Added a non-contact writing value to address the issue where the initial stroke doesn't register when placing the pen down quickly on the screen. When connecting to a Wi-Fi network that requires CA certificate, users can choose to install the certificate. That's actually pretty cool. And then we have a couple of fixes. Fix the issue where certain web pages in the browser cannot be accessed by updating the system. Web view component. Fix the issue where some books cannot be downloaded in the Kindle app. I guess you need to update the Kindle app for this. Fix the issue where certain grayscale content couldn't be displayed properly. Fix the issue where a layer containing the special characters, coding little brackets in their names would disappear. Fix the issue where the reformat feature failed to work as expected when exporting standard notes to docx and text. Template favorites list appeared empty and switching templates caused a crash after applying a custom template to a new note. I actually use a ton of custom templates almost exclusively, the ones that you can actually find on mydeepguide.com/shop, plug. And I've never encountered that, so that's interesting. But okay, if they've managed to figure it out, then cool. Fix the issue where moving documents between the internal storage and a micro SD card caused the loss of digest link relationships. In addition, that also fixes the issues of how Android is actually treating the micro SD card. And this may seem like a simple thing, but if you've done any Android development, then you know the pain that you have to go through to deal with how Android chooses to deal with the micro SD card or the external storage. So that's the list of everything that you have in the update 3.25. So like big props to the Supernote team for what they have brought out and offered for free to the ePaper community. This, in my opinion, is the single most important development that we've had this year for sure, as far as ePaper devices are concerned, but also overall, because it offers you something that is becoming almost an unobtainium type of a thing, which is your own data, your own control, that you own your privacy. That's what this offers you. Name me another service that offers this much power and that much control over your own privacy and your own data. I really want to hear from you guys about that one, because I can't think of an equivalent of any sort like this that we have on the market. So I don't know if you've noticed in the video, but I like this update and I do like this development. What about you? Do let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and yeah, let's have a little bit of a discussion on this because I think it's an important discussion to have. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!